All right, everybody, let's talk about posting content to Blackboard. So when you come into your Blackboard course, and as a reminder, your courses are created by a feed that runs from the catalog, so you'll never have to create your own Blackboard course. It would automatically show up as long as you're the instructor of record in the catalog. So if you want to actually post content here, most folks use this course materials link that's over here on the left-hand side. Those are created with every course that's created in Blackboard. So if you click on your course materials page, you likely will want to post whatever content you want to share here. You'll also notice that there's a syllabus page. So if you want to upload your syllabus, you could do that there. We'll talk about how to upload files in a second, so you'll see how to do it, but it'll be the exact same thing to do it on your syllabus page if you wanted to put it there. So I just clicked on my course materials page, and you can see I've got a bunch of stuff in here. Some of this stuff is other stuff we're not going to talk about today, but just different tools that Blackboard offers. So first of all, let's talk about the different items that are here. So you can see there's a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, etc. folder. Those are folders, content folders. There's also assignments, there's items, etc. Really, the most common things that are used in terms of building content in course materials are content folders, web links, items, YouTube videos, and those are really the main thing. Most of the time, folks use maybe 1 or 2 of those, maybe 3. Definitely don't feel like you have to use all of them. So anytime you want to build content on a content page, like course materials, you go to build content. And from here, you can see that there's a bunch of different options, right? So I mentioned item, content folder, YouTube video, web link. Those are kind of the most common ones that people use. Let's start with a content folder. So content folder will create exactly what it sounds like, a folder that you can put content in. So some folks decide to use this as week 1, week 2, week 3, etc., kind of how you saw on my previous screen there, and divide up the course that way. Sometimes folks use it as unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, etc. So it's nice because it actually groups your content for you. And you can also set specific permissions, which we'll talk about in a second, so that the content within that folder will only open on a certain date. So I'm going to call my folder unit 1. So you will always want to give your content a name, usually. So on content folder and item, you'll be prompted to enter a name. So that's kind of the headline of the folder, or the name of the folder. Then under text, you might put the dates that this folder is, the content is pertaining to, or you might put a summary of what's going to be covered in there. You don't actually put the contents of the folder here. We'll do that in just a second. So I'm just going to put dates. We'll say 1/19 to 1/26, right? And then you could say summary of content, and then maybe you'd write a short sentence that just talks about the different content that's going to be covered. So then down below, you get these standard options with the folder. And this is what I was talking about before in terms of if you wanted to set a folder to show up on a certain date. If you wanted to hide the content, that folder and the content within it, this is how you would do it. So the first option here, where it says permit users to view this content, you would want this to be yes. And then what you can do is say display after and set the date that you want it to show up. So let's say this is, unit 1, you don't want it to show up until the first day of class, but maybe you're making your class available before the first day of class. So you would set this as yes, and then you would go in and select your due date. So maybe it's tomorrow, and you can see that'll actually turn it on so that it will display after that date. Alternatively, you could take that display after off and say no. If you do that option, it's basically a manual option that you would have to then go back into this folder and change it to yes when you do want students to be able to see it. You can also select display until. That'll allow the item to only show for a limited amount of time. So I went back and switched this to yes and set this as display after. And I'm just going to click submit down here in the bottom right. Anytime you add new content to Blackboard, it automatically goes to the bottom of the page. So you can see here's the item I just created, the content folder rather I just created, and I'll just drag this all the way up to the top of the page. And I'm doing that by just pressing on I clicked on the left-hand side here, and you can see there's the 4 arrows that show up, and you just drag up. So I have a lot of stuff in here, so it might just take a second for it to drag all the way up. There we go. So I'm going to put it up at the top. And now you can see that the availability item of the item shows that it's hidden from students and it will be available after January 20th, so tomorrow. And the folder is all set to start building content in. So from here, if you did want to put content in that folder, you would click right on the name of it. And then from here, you can start adding your individual content items. So we'll go back up to build content. And from here, let's add an item. So an item is kind of all use cases, or most use cases, I should say, is really helpful and useful. You can add text, you can add files, you can add links to this. It's probably the most used content item along with content folder. And most folks use items to build their entire course. So maybe we want to name this Readings for Unit 1. And maybe you've got some information here, like you want people to read a specific reading first. So read reading 1 before going to reading 2. And maybe there's other information, so you can put that in here. If you hit this little plus icon, you'll get some more options. You can add files right within here. You can also scroll down and add attachments. So you can see you've got a couple different options here. Browse local files will go out and look for a file on your desktop or on your computer. Browse course files will allow you to upload content that's already in your course. So something that you've already uploaded somewhere else. And then Cloud Service allows you to go out to Google Drive or Dropbox or one of those services and upload content from there. I'm just going to do browse local files, and I'm going to look for a document. So I clicked on browse local files, looked for my document, double clicked on it. Then from here, you can actually change this link title. So if you wanted students to see it as something else, and then you can scroll down and you see, again, you get the same standard options that we got on that content folder. But remember, because this item is in the content folder, it won't show up until that folder is available. So usually if I have a content folder that has a scheduled time of release on it, I don't usually do anything on the individual items or content pieces that are within the folder. So I'm going to click submit. And now you can see there's my item that I just added. So also within build content, we did talk about these briefly, but I'll talk about them in more detail. So there is a web link option that'll actually create, as it sounds, a link to a website or a external resource. There's also a YouTube video. So down here under the right column, you can add a YouTube video mashup, which will allow you to choose how you want the video to show up, whether you want it embedded or a link, but it'll basically allow students to play it right within Blackboard. If you use Ensemble, which is our Fisher kind of video hosted platform, you would be able to also do that here. So from there, that you can really utilize items and all of the other content tools to build kind of whatever you want to build within your course. I'm going to show you, just go back to course materials, and I'll show you there's a couple things in my course. So you can see there's a bunch of different tools and different things that I've added. So you can see in this one, I actually added a huge picture to my content folder. Wouldn't recommend adding a huge image, but you can add whatever you want. So you could even add tables, you could add different items right within that content item area. Another thing too, you saw me upload just a single attachment to an item. So within our Unit 1 folder, I just have this one screenshot image that I attached, but you could actually upload multiple files to an item. So if it's easier, if you like organizing, you know, in this case, maybe you wanted to put all 5 readings, maybe they're all PDFs, and wanted to add them all to this item, you could do that. So that's pretty much the gist of adding stuff to a Blackboard course. If you have any questions, please reach out, but hopefully this is helpful. Thanks, have a good one.